Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Learn. In this session, we are going to discuss about other two modal verbs, will or would, and also we'll see the differentiation between could and would. Let's start. Will or would. If you see the main difference between these, will is used for real situations and it always signifies the future. Whereas would, it is used for imagining situations in the future or of the past. Will, it is used when talking about future, showing certainty, willingness, or making promises. It will rain tomorrow, talking about something which is expected in the future. I'll help you with your assignment. It is about a decision made at the moment while speaking. I will always support you, making a promise. She will succeed no matter what, showing strong belief. Coming to would, it is the past tense of will. As we discussed it in the previous session, we refer to these as the past tenses of such words for easy understanding. It is also used for hypothetical situations, means unreal or imaginary situations, polite requests, and repeated past actions. If I had more time, I would travel the world. It's about something which has not happened, will not happen, or neither it is happening now. It's an hypothetical imaginary situation. Would you help me with this project? It's a polite request. Would is always more polite than will. For formal or if you want to be polite, always consider using would rather than will. When I was a child, I would read before bed every night. It is about repeated past actions. And he said he would call me later. It is referring to a future action. And here I have listed out the key differences between will and would and some more examples. I would study more if I had time. Imaginary situation. Will you help me with my homework? Formal, less formal request. As I said, if you want to be more formal and polite, consider using would. And let's see the use of will and would with conditionals. And what are these conditionals? We also call them if clauses, which we'll learn about in detail in the upcoming weeks. Zero conditional. Zero conditional is used to talk about facts and situations which are always true. And this if plus present simple is the structure. Actually, will and would are not used in true zero conditionals except in special cases. Like if you touch that wire, you will get an electric shock. If you press this button, the machine will turn on. These are exceptions. Usually, if you see the examples of zero conditional, if you add 1 and 1, you get 2. If you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. These are facts, scientific facts, general truths, and natural consequences. We usually don't use will and would in true zero conditionals except such. If you need help, I would be there for you. If you ask politely, people would usually help you. And the first conditional, we talk about actions or events in the future which are likely to happen. If plus present simple, will plus base verb. This is the structure. If it rains tomorrow, I'll stay at home. If you study hard, you will pass the exam. These are likely to happen events. If it rains tomorrow, we will stay indoors. Moving to the second conditional, we talk about impossible things in the present or unlikely things in the future. Coming to the structure, it is if plus past simple, would plus base verb. If I had a magic wand, I would change some historical events. If I were rich, I would travel the world. If I had a car, I would drive to work. In the third conditional, we talk about things that didn't happen in the past and their imaginary results. Coming to the structure, if plus past perfect would have plus past participle. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. If she had called me, I would have helped her. I would never have met with her if I hadn't gone to that party. If you had left earlier, you wouldn't have missed the train. Do remember The use of will and would in the conditionals, they might be asked in the questions later on. Coming to modest requests and proposals, we use would in formal situations and will in informal situations, as we have seen earlier. Reported speech and descriptions of past habits. Let me just give you a brief explanation about reported speech. We also call it indirect speech, and it often involves changing pronouns, verb tenses, and time expressions. If you see here, in normal speech, if you say, he said I am happy, in reported speech, it would change to, he said he was happy. I have finished, she said she had finished. If you see here, the tense is changing, pronouns are changing, time expressions are changing. I will see you tomorrow. He said he would see me the next day. He asked, did you see the movie? He asked if I had seen the movie. And we usually use would in reported speech. She told me that she would be here at 8 o'clock. When I was young, I would play tennis with my brother. And express liking and preferences for something. We use would to describe words such as love, hate, prefer, like, and glad. I would be glad to help. I would hate to work out in the morning. I would love to go on a trip to Spain. And we use would when you want to give opinion on uncertain things. I would say he's about 40. I think it would take about 40 minutes. And we use would. If I would say wouldn't to express refusal to do something. Reva wouldn't go to the doctor even though she was in pain. My bike would not start today. If you see the use of word would with wish. I wish you would leave me. I wish you would be quiet for a minute. So this is all about will and would. So the activity question. The main difference between will and would is that will is used for real possibilities while would is used for imagined situations in the future. True, we just discussed about that. I had expected that he blank scored well in the final exam. If you observe carefully, I had expected. It refers to a past expectation about the future. So in such cases, we have seen that we should always prefer using would. Would is used when talking about expected or imagined future actions from a past perspective. And the third question, she would play is a complete and appropriate sentence. False. It is incomplete because you cannot use would like this. It needs a context to say something. It does not have a meaning of its own. We learnt about this. It is incomplete because it lacks necessary context. If you say she would play if she had more time, this is a complete sentence. And the fourth question, conditionals are also called if clauses. True, because they often contain the word if to express a condition. And the fifth question, with the third conditional, we talk about things that did not happen in the past and their imaginary results. True. Third conditional is used to talk about hypothetical situations. And coming to the structure of the third conditional, this is the structure of third conditional. I hope everything is clear regarding will and would. Going ahead, let's see the differentiation between could versus would. Could is used to express past ability. Would is used to express hypothetical situations, imaginary situations. It suggests possibility but uncertain. Would shows willingness or preference. Could is used for polite requests. Would is also used for polite offers or requests. It is less certain than can, and would is used for future in the past. If you see a few examples, I could study abroad if I get a scholarship. I would study abroad if I had money. Could you lend me your notes? Would you be willing to share your notes? Both could and would are used to talk about the past. See here, I could run a few kilometers without any break. I knew he would pass the exam. Possible and imaginary situations. We use could. It is indicating possibility, not past form. My boss isn't responding to my mails. He could be busy. It's instead indicating possibility. And in imaginary situations, we prefer to use would. If I had a lot of money, I would retire easily. If Kishore worked hard, he would pass the exam. In indicating possibility, we use could most of the times. And in imaginary situations, we use would. And polite expressions, making suggestions, making offers, making requests, we use both could and would. You see here, would is more very formal and polite compared to could. Could you please open this door for me? Would you please open this door for me? Both are fine, but would is considered very formal and polite. I'm explaining everything in brief as we have already discussed about these in the previous sessions. And asking for permission, we use both could and would. Some more examples. Would you mind sharing your notes with me? Prabha could already speak 3 languages when she was 6. And activity questions. Both could and would are used to talk about things in the past. True. We blank take a flight to London. What do you think? It's asking for an opinion actually. Opinion about a possible action. What is that? Taking a flight to London. And when you want something to suggest a possibility, we always prefer could. So the answer is we could take a flight to London. Third question, blank, you like to have an ice cream. You are offering something to someone or asking someone's preference. So you will always have to sound polite. And among these two, when you have to be more formal and polite, we have seen that you should always consider would. So would you like to have an ice cream? Fourth question, would you mind if I borrowed your pen? Is a grammatically right sentence they are saying. True. Would you mind if you are asking something? So would is used here, so it's more polite. And borrowed, it is in the past tense, which is correct after would you mind if. This is following the common structure. Would you mind if plus past tense. In the fifth question, blank, you please print a copy for me as well. Formal and polite. Close your eyes and choose would. Because would is more polite and formal, and they themselves mentioned about this in the question, so would is the answer. Hope everything is clear until now. If you have any doubts, please let me know. We'll discuss about other topics in the next session. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.